Okay, so today we're going to learn how to use the Divi theme for WordPress. This version is 2.4.6.3. Why you need all those points, I don't really know, but that's what version we're in. So I'm going to use this website as an example. This is SpokaneBodybuilding.com, and you can see I've customized it to have some sections here and things like that. But what we're going to learn today is how to actually make a page and how to create layouts and use sections and rows. So the reason I'm doing this, and I'm going to use this site as an example, is because with Ribbit Productions, they're going to need a couple different templates for each of the events that they hold yearly. One will be an open template that the event is coming soon and you should register for it. The other will be a closed template that the event is not coming soon, and here's this info instead until we switch the two pages. So let's take a look at alright, no, this is what we'll do. Okay, so let's go to this page, for example, Night of Champions. You can see I have sections here with content in them. I've got a header, then I've got a section here with a box. I've got some stuff going on here, more information, countdown clock. What is this called? I'm the web designer, I don't even know what it's called. The tabbing. Alright, we got the tabbing. We've got a list of results, a competitor page. We've got some info on the people that are coming, special guests. This is what their template currently looks like for an event that is open and is ready for registering, so that we can tell them about the photographers that are coming. Here's some pictures and things like that. So why don't we take a look at how this is actually built. So if we go to Edit Page, you can see here I have, it's not too complicated, but if you've never seen it before, it can be intimidating. So I've got these blue sections, green sections, I've got gray sections. What are these sections anyways? I'll show you. So if we take View Page in another tab, you can see that this section here is a top image, and I've named it accordingly. And then we go down to the next section here, and that would be this blue section here, where I've got text, social media, and the Sign Up Now button. And so we've got that. Now sections are going to be blue, and sometimes these sections will change colors depending on whether they're global or not global, which is something we can talk about later. But why don't we construct a page, and I'll show you exactly how we get from nothing to a bunch of this stuff. So what I've done, and what I do on most of the sites that I build, is create a test page so that I can figure out what I want to do and start doing it. But this test page is going to allow me to create the template that I want, save it as a template, and then that way later I can actually use that template on the page that I really want it on, and I can replace it or I can add to it. So we're going to use this button here called Use the Divi Builder, and I'm going to close this SEO module. And the Divi Builder starts us off with a section, and then a row, and then or this is the row. Well, let's just start. Okay, let's just start. All right, so we've got 4 different kinds of sections we can create. I'm going to click this standard one, and this section will automatically ask us to choose how we want to columnize that. So for now, why don't we just do half and half? So now I've got a section, and then I've got my rows within the section. And now what do I want to put in these 2 columns? Click the module. Now Divi comes with a whole bunch of modules, and you can also add your own things by adding plugins and adding code. So why don't we just do something simple for now? We'll do the text module. You click on that, it asks you to put in text. So you can click the visual tab if you want, if that makes it easier. We'll make a title. This is my title, and this is my text. And then we'll add a picture, sure. And let's take this guy right here because he's cool. Insert him. Alright, so you can see I just easily added some text, added a title. I'm going to make this title a heading. And I'll just grab some more so much I probably should have did way before this, but now you're going to have to watch me copy and paste it, which is kind of cool because maybe you didn't know this exists, but who knows. Alright, copy and paste because I just want it to look like a real page somewhat. Alright. Okay, so there's some text. I'm going to save it. So now I got a section here with text. I've got another section. So why don't we try another module? We've got sliders, we've got testimonials, blurbs, tabs. Why don't we try for, let's just go with person. We'll say my name's Heather Wood. I'm a web designer. My image. I'll just go with this lady here. You guys can pretend this is me for now. And then animations. We can add animations to it. It comes pre-packed with all this stuff. You don't have to do nothing. This is stuff that the web developers coded for you so that you can just easily throw this stuff in yourself. So it's pretty cool. Makes my job super easy as a freelancer. I can get websites done pretty quickly because I use this theme a lot. If I have a Facebook profile URL, I put it here. But I'm just going to put the hash for now because I'm not going to waste your time with that. The hash is just a placeholder, but you would want to put the URL there. I would put my information. We'll pretend that's my information. And now I've got a person module up. I've got this. Let's say I don't even, want this section here. It's empty. There's nothing in here. But I'm going to go ahead and something that's really cool here is you can grab these sections and drag and drop. See that? I can change the order of them just by dragging and dropping. It's pretty cool. So I'm going to update this page so we can take a look at it. If I didn't want that module either, I could delete it because there's like the little delete buttons. See? Delete, delete, and be gone. So let's take a look at this page. So this is what I did. I got my section over here, the row with a title, my text, my picture. Over here I got my person, which is just pre-styled to, it's person. It's got its own styling. It's just made differently. So we've got my little social links here, my name, my title, and my picture. And, obviously there's a lot more to it than this. If you want your picture a certain size, you're going to have to throw it up in Photoshop or make sure it's that size, or you can size it out by doing columns, so many different things. But this is the basics. So okay, let's add something else. Let's add a full width and a gallery. So we'll call this a grid gallery. We'll say update the gallery. And I'm just going to throw in some pictures just for now, just to show you what this does. Add to gallery. And I'm just going to say update gallery. If you want to add captions, feel free. So now those pictures should be in there. You've got some other custom stuff here. You can show the captions or not. Pagination is if you're going to have so many images per page, like 10 images, the pagination would be the number system, like first page, second page, third page. I'll show you on another page. Let's save it. Let's update it. And now I'm going to refresh. So now here's my other section. Now I've got my my gallery here. And currently I have it set to only show 4 images at a time. And any images that run past 4 images is going to be on another page. This is the pagination. See? So, you might want to have 20 to show at once or, 10, whatever you feel like. All right, so we just made a web page, which is pretty cool. So now what happens when we want to use this again, use it on a different page if we want it to look the same? What do you do? This is where Divi is very different from other template builders or just makes it different. Whatever. There's not a lot of other themes that do this, which is really cool. There's plugins that do it, but then those plugins have to be compatible with all kinds of different themes, and that's not always really friendly. Divi's cool because it's built into the Divi theme. They also have an extension coming, which should work on most themes, but whatever. You're gonna have to figure that out on your own. I'm just showing you this. So, okay. Now here's a cool thing. We can save these sections. So let's say I wanna save this section because I'm gonna use this section here, which we know is this top section. I want to use that on a bunch of pages, but I don't want to use the rest of the stuff that I just made. So what you can do is you can go in here in this entire section piece, and you can say save and add to the library. You save that and you say section 1 test. I'm going to name it that for now. Now global, you would check this if you wanted to make sure that when you change the elements within this section, that it will change on every page that section is in. So if I change the title to something, it's not only going to change it on this page, it's going to change it on all the other pages I have this section loaded. So you really have to think about that because you can't change it once you make it. I'm not going to do that right now. I want it to be its own thing when I load it into other pages so that I can change it on a per page basis. I'm going to add to the library. So now I just save this whole section so I can use it somewhere else later. You can also save these rows here and just save the row content. Now you're wondering, oh, why would I save the row when I can save the whole section? Well, it's because you can add extra rows. See? We can add other stuff, which is really cool. Let's pretend to, what do we got here? Oh, let me show you this. Instead of this, watch this. You can copy these. Look at that. So if I wanted to add extra people there, I could just copy the one I already made, drag and drop, throw it in there. It's done. I can change the person by clicking the edit. Look at that. And I just changed the content. I don't have to redo everything. It's done in 1 second. I'm going to add this text over here just so you can see the difference. Copy. Click and drag. Freaking sweet. And another thing, I'm going to add another row. I'm going to add this. I'm going to click and drag it up here. Click. And I'm going to add a divider. Look how quick I can make a website. All right, show the divider. Let's make it a height of 25. Let's change the color. We'll just make it this so we can see it. Save. So now I've got my text info here. I got a divider and then got extra text down here. I'm going to customize this because let's say, oh, well, maybe I didn't want this stuff down here, just so we can tell the difference. I'm going to click that. Oh, I guess I could just delete. And I'm just going to delete this stuff. All right, then it looks different. This is my title too. Save. And then I'm going to update this again. I think I'll also press preview, but I'm not a preview person because I do this all day long. I don't care. I know how to fix it and how to do it. But you might want to preview it before you save it. It's just a test page. Who cares? All right, so we've got our info here that we made earlier. There's our divider. And look, here's our other people. And here's our other information. All in this one section. See? So our section is still this blue area. And now if we want to change these green areas to do something different or save it, we would click this settings button. So now here you have so much stuff, and this is where web designers come in because the average person isn't going to know what to do with this stuff. Your web designer will, but you can always look it up online. You can see what to do. Hopefully if your web designer made your site for you, it's all set and good for you. You're good to go. But what do we want to do here? So let me just do something real quick so we can see how we can change this up a little. We got advanced. We'll change the background color to be red just so we can see it, and we'll save. But I also, what I wanted to do was just save this row. Save it out to library. So red row is what we'll call it, test. Save. So now I'm going to update this again. We're going to refresh. And now look, I put a red background behind the horizontal line. Really ugly, but you're getting the idea of how we can change things. Because those rows should have all the same settings. So if I want to put a red background behind this stuff, I could do so. Alright, so you saw me save the row, and you can also save these sections. So if you have this little section here, this divider module, design the way that you want. Let's say you did something cool with this and this, or who knows. You can also save the little divider if you wanted to. So as we can see, a web page in Divi is made up of sections, rows, and modules. And columns. Columns are inside the modules, but you saw it. Alright, so now another thing we can do is save this entire layout, which means this entire page, everything that we did, we can save the whole thing. So let's do that. We're going to say save to library. We're going to save test layout for today. Save it. So I just saved that whole thing, which is really cool. So let's see how this works, okay? I'm just going to update this so I don't lose it. And I'm going to create a brand new page. So I'm going to just go to new page. Oh geez, look at what I did. New page. Alright, so I'm like, this is a newer testing page. Alright, so hey, I don't want to do all that work again. Let's use the Divi Builder. And we're going to load from the library. I'm going to say add from the library. And here's my test layout for today that I created. All I had to do is load it. Now let's say there was already some stuff I created here. I didn't want to lose it. Then you would not check mark this. But if you didn't do anything here or whatnot, then you would click this replace the existing content with the loaded layout. So I'm not going to check it. Or actually I am going to check it because I want to replace what's there. Because there's nothing. Load it. Look, all that stuff's there. And then I just have to publish it and save it. Now, if this were an existing page, all I'd have to do is load the real template I made and save it. So we can preview it. And you see all that info's there. That's so cool. It's done. The page is created, and all I have to do is fill this info in with the correct info for that page. So let's close this stuff out for a second. Let's add a standard section. Now if I want to add a section from the library, you just click on the section link like you just saw me do, and there's my red row test. So I'm going to click that. So there, I've got my red row test right in there. Now let's see the row that we saved. Let's add a row down here. I can say add from library, and there's my red row test. Is that the same thing I just did? I think it is, so we'll pretend I didn't do it. Preview. Alright, well look at that. We loaded our sections here twice. But basically, yeah, if you want to load the layout, you just load it from your library up here. You can clear the entire layout. Be careful doing that. Make sure you really want to do it. Or you can save the layout that you created or is already created. But that's basically it. Other than getting into more details, and you can see you can click and drag all these sections into one another. You can click and drag this down here. I mean, it gets crazy. But that's the basics. For this website, the reason I chose this one is because I'm going to close out all this stuff. Oh, and you can also access the whole library of everything you saved by going down to Divi Library. Brings you to this page where if I refresh, now that I made these new ones, you can see the ones I made. It shows when I made them. If I categorize them, let's say you can create categories. If I were going to create categories for Ribbit Productions, I would make sure to categorize each of these sections for, and it'll be different for your business, but for her business, I would categorize it as these different events that they hold. So one would be Empire Classic, one would be Empire Fit, one would be Night of Champions. That's how I would categorize it. Where were we? And if you want to delete them, if you want to change them, you can go into each of these and do that. If one is global, why don't we make something global for a moment? Just so you can see. Where are we? Oh, Empire Fit Expo. Well, global. Global is just a section, which I said earlier. If I saved this section here, if I changed it in one page, it would change it on all the pages. It's as simple as that, if I loaded it to those pages. I feel like I'm missing something, but I guess not. So, oh, that's what I was going to tell you. You know, how am I going to do it for this company here? So why don't we take a look? We've got Empire Fit Expo. And this is the closed template. So we need to save this template. I'm going to save this to the library. Layout name will be Empire Fit Expo. And you really don't have to continue watching this, but if it's helpful to you, please do. Because basically what I just showed you is as simply as it gets. This is just showing you in real time how I'd be using this. So Empire Fit Expo, closed registration. And I'm even going to name this 2015, just so I know what year I made it. I'm going to save it. And you know what?